service of the NTA. Now let's move on to our second conversation for today, and that's on Nigeria's entertainment industry. The Nigeria's movie industry has become very huge since it sprang up in the 1990s, becoming the second largest film producer in the world. That's, of course, talking about Nollywood. Now, in terms of numbers of movies, but like many other sectors, its growth was derailed by the coronavirus pandemic in 2020. So let's listen into Yemi Ajayi's background before we commence our conversation.
Cinemas were among huge businesses affected by the lockdown due to rising cases of coronavirus in different parts of the country in 2020. Movies and music producers were all affected by the restrictions on large gatherings. The comedians could not organize shows, neither could the musicians. In February, the Headies Award was won, which had gatherings of stars to honor outstanding performances. It was held in an atmosphere devoid of COVID-19 protocols, and this led to many of the attendees testing positive for the virus shortly after. On the good side, this, however, made actors in the entertainment scene to think outside the box, presenting an opportunity to up their games with the social media as the new entertainment platform. Average Nigerians turn to social media apps for entertainment, with some of the renowned stars now releasing some skits, singles and collaborations in conformity to the social distance policy of the federal government. The innovative ingenuity of the entertainment sector was challenged. Digital streaming services and social media became the platforms for the traditional media players as well. And with a smartphone and internet connectivity, many became content producers, producing video and streaming online for their fans. Despite the prevalence of COVID-19 in the country, especially after the lockdown, standard movies and producers were still able to release some quality production with millions of naira to their credits. Now that we have officially welcomed 2021, how can the sector recover from the loss of the past year? And since COVID-19 is still much around the corner, what measures have been put in place to ensure regular activities are not derailed? These are some of the questions guests from the entertainment industry will be responding to very shortly.
Oh, many thanks, Oyemi, there for that background. Now, after the world just endured, stakeholders in the entertainment industry poised for a healthy and more transformative surge this 2021. What are the prospects and plans to achieve them? Our guests are already seated, and we now welcome Happy Julian Ochendu, a film producer and director. It is a pleasure. You're with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Compliments of the season.
Same to you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
All right, we also have here with us Professor Alex Sigbo, and Professor Sigbo is the President, Society of Nigeria Theatre Artists, SONTA. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And via Zoom from Lagos, if we have, that's it, we have the duo of Ogunshina Ayodeji Samuel. Can I see them? And Ojo Oladipupo Daniel. And of course, both of them make up the Still Ringing Comedy Group. Did I get that? Still Ringing?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Are you still ringing?
Yeah, you got it correctly. Still ringing.
What are you ringing? Can you ring for us? Let's start with you. So how was 2020 with you in terms of consumer behavior and interest in your shows?
And of course, very much as an addition to the 2021 really ring.
Okay. Speaking of the effects of COVID-19 on the comedy scene, I would say it has made us to diversify. When comedy began, let's just go back a bit to when it began. It began from stage. it was basically stage platform. So if you say you were a comedian in about 3, 4, 5 years ago, everybody knew you to be the man on stage, and then you have an audience in front of you, and then you crack them up, and make them laugh. But when you say you're a comedian in today's world, in today's corona world, you are probably not a stage comedian. In fact, 60% of people would think you are a YouTuber, a content Instagram provider. So the paradigm has shifted completely. Coronavirus has made many of us content producers now, because we know nobody wants to gather and wear masks and begin to give themselves social distancing. They want to laugh, they want to hug, they want to gist, they want to have fun, and that's what comedy does. It brings people together. But now that we can't be in your faces and make you laugh, then we have to be on your screen. So it has made most of us to discover that we can act more than we can stand on stage. So yes, the pandemic, the lockdown has really locked up our, attitude on stage, and now it has made us, most of us are bringing out our cameras right now. Our cameras are doing the magic, and we are reaching out to all our fans and reminding them that we are still funny. As soon as the COVID whatever is gone, we'll be in your faces one-on-one direct. And I think basically it has just made us to look at other ways. And besides comedy, a lot of our colleagues are now businessmen, entrepreneurs. I know some people that open bakeries, eateries, different things. So I think it has made us to see life, away from our industry per se. We can venture into other things and then become, all-rounded entrepreneurs. So I see it as a blessing in disguise. Some people will complain and say, man, it has eaten all of our savings, it has done this and that. Sometimes we have to prepare for the worst, but we thank the Lord. We've been fine so far, so good.
We are still waxing stronger.
Well, thank you so very much. That was a good opening for us. You're still ringing, I can say. Let's hear from Professor Asugbo. Respond to that question. How has 2020 been?
Well, 2020 has had a very negative impact on most sectors of life. For the entertainment and creative industry, ours was more because theater is a social art, and it thrives more when people are together, sweating together, feeling the energy together. Yes, very interactive. But somehow 2020 tried to put a stop to all that. But like you had my two colleagues there talking, the motto of the theater is the show must go on. So one way or the other, the human spirit will always create something out of nothing and find a way to survive. So that is what theater is doing. It's trying to reinvent itself in many forms, through cybernetics, through appropriating the social media to propagate. So now you can stay in your room, act just before your handset, and then you put it on YouTube, and you are still reaching your audience. But of course, I must say that for some of us, live theater still remains the thing. So even at that, there are people who are innovating. We are now having drive-in theaters where we have an elevated stage. The actors will be on stage acting. You drive in, you stay on your car bonnet, you are still observing social distance, and they are watching what is going on stage. I think Agozi Ago tried that some months ago in Abuja here with Olaro Timi's Gripper. So essentially, the impact has been huge, but we will survive. We will continue to innovate.
Okay, Julian, PricewaterhouseCoopers predicted even way before COVID-19 that Nigeria's entertainment industry will probably be the best prospects, in the world. And with the movie industry, the film industry churning out, according to that research, more than 2,500, films and all that. Are we still in business? Is that projection still, does it still subsist with coronavirus?
I would say to some extent, but it has dropped. Like last year, it wasn't easy, but then we managed to survive it.
Okay. You have your phone. Could you just switch it off?
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, so while she's doing that, let's come back to you to take that question.
Okay. Like you said, the projection was that we were doing 2,500 films annually. But definitely last year, if you remember, there were some between March and May, when the world was still trying to understand what Corona was all about. If you recall, the first day that they announced lockdown, it was as if there was war in Nigeria because no movement anywhere. So even producers couldn't go to locations to shoot their films. So to that extent, the number dropped significantly. We are still trying to map that now. We are still organizing studies around that area to know actually how many films were able to come out last year. But you know, sometimes a film may take you 6 months to finish. So to that extent, some films that were done in 2019 were supposed to have come out last year, but somehow because of the lockdown, dates of release are being shifted and all that. But producers are returning to locations now that we are beginning to demystify Corona in quotes.
Okay.
It's still ravaged, you know.
So
Okay.
are you?
Adding to what he said.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Last year was a bad one. Although I was in location when the whole thing happened. Someone like me, I do production like 6 to 7 movies in a year. But last year was just 2. Yeah. So I came back. That was December. Before December, I actually did 2 before the year runs out. So it was actually a bad one for all of us. So the only thing there was some of the movie I did 2019. Then I was lucky, I traveled, that was March, to submit to DSTV and Rock TV before coming back, then go back to location, and then the whole thing happened. So I managed to survive a little. But last year, I will tell you that it was a bad one for the movie industry.
Would you say the same thing for the other? You know, in cinema, in film production, I mean, you have other business, aspects. You have the scripting, you have the directing, and all that. For you are the film producer, so it was not too good for you.
It was
but
bad.
the other value chain, would you say the same? It was the same for them?
Yeah, everybody. If me, the producer, cannot produce, you, the scriptwriter, how would you do it? I have to get the script from you. Both the actors, both the crew members, everybody were sitting, because the producer is the key of all things. So I have to call all of you. The phone is coming from me. So if I don't have that phone or to go to production because of the lockdown, how do you do it? Everywhere is locked. So that's the basic thing.
But 2020 was really tough, I suppose.
It was.
And it required the tough to really get through it, which of course you are one of them. You went through it and you came out, and then we're in 2021 now, and we're looking ahead. How's the outlook? I mean, what are the lessons out of that could just now change your perspective and approach to these issues?
You know, during the lockdown, there is this WhatsApp group I belong to, entrepreneur. So I was just seeing everybody moving crates of eggs, bread, rice, beans. I was just sitting like this. I was like, hey, who sent me? Am I in the wrong profession? No, I'm not. It's passion. So I was just looking like this. I was just saying, oh, no. I think I have to, start doing plan B, because this whole pandemic opened my eyes. Not just me, but a whole lot of person, if I may say. That agriculture is the basic thing. That should be a secondary. If this should be my first priority, that also should be my second. Because I was just sitting there, people were just, oh yes, I need 500 this, I need truck of this. I said, I'm just sitting there looking. So it's kind of a mind, eyes opener to like say, you don't just have to sit one place. You just, in as much as this is what you want to do, but then and then have something else doing, because anything can happen. Not just me, I believe some other Nigerians in all over the world, like, okay, this thing happened. At a point in time, I have to start Googling to like see how I can make sanitizer, and then start pushing it, because we need to pay bills, we need to eat, kids need to eat. And then I'm sitting there, no income was coming in. I can't make sales, I can't do anything, I'm just sitting there. I can't go back to locations. We're just there. So even at a point in time, I started doing skits to say, okay, let me just pull it there on YouTube and see what it could generate for me. So it was really tough, but then we thank God we pulled through.
I was just trying to let you look into 2020. We are not going to leave the entertainment industry, I believe. It's part of you've already said. So, and then with these setbacks and the negatives in 2020, Corona and the rest of them, Corona is still here, right? And the industry will continue to thrive too. Sure. We are about the third in the world, I believe, from Hollywood, Nollywood, then will come down to Kennywood. We are not going to let go of that. Even the government will not allow that because of the revenue coming from there. Yeah. My question is, in this industry, as we move into 2021, what are the new things? How are we going to do things differently now in order to make this industry thrive?
Okay, to accommodate the corona. Yeah, I'm a producer to Rock TV. So during when the lockdown was lifted, so, well, you know, like crew members, when I'm working with crew members, I have like 15 to 20 of them. Though it has to affect some people because we have to drop some of them. Like the makeup artists normally have like an assistant. Then the costumier will have an assistant. So all these things were cut off. Just you. Leave your assistant behind. You leave your assistant behind. So Mary Njoko was able to send us face shield, then clothes wear. Then the script now was centered on no more kissing because you don't know. These are the precautions, you know, we'll put aside. So put a script that, you know, would distance, avoid the kissing, avoid the touching too much, and then the hotel where you keep your crew members, it has to be one person. You know, before normally it's 2 people in a room, but right now one to just curtail the measurement for the spread of the corona. But then it still affects some people because some other persons.
Okay, let's bring on Ayodiji and on Ladi Pukpo, who of course joined us via Zoom from Lagos. That's the still ringing. Now, what coronavirus probably, the lessons from it probably for all entertainers is the need for content creators to be innovative in terms of the content that, you know, you dish out, and also be innovative in stimulating your the interest of your viewers. How challenging has it been for you in this regard?
Content creating is, if it is what you do, because before the lockdown, a lot of us who are comics, we were not into content creating. Still ringing, for example, we have Facebook pages, Instagram pages, Twitter, and we've been running ads, we've been running content on those platforms long before Corona came. So it was easier for us to just switch away from live stage performances and then just, you know what, this lockdown has locked everything down. Let's go and face our camera, and then it was a full switch. So it was easy. So we can say we have ideas. We know what to do. We know what not to create. We know the kind of information to pass across. But a lot of people, a lot of young guys like us who are now looking at the whole trend, they see that, wow, this thing is shifted. It'd be like, say, now these guys, they make the money now. You know, it's anything when you come our head, more just do. And then you put in, you know, the information that are not, you know, that are insensitive. You just talk things anyhow, and then you begin to send the wrong message. So it happens. There is always that how will I call it? You know, when you do not really know how, you don't know the know-how of a particular thing, you are prone to errors. So I have seen some videos of some people, they talk about the corona, the pandemic, as if it is not real. That's not the kind of information you should be spreading at a critical time like this. You know, you encourage people to practice safety measures and all of that. But in a nutshell, the reason why we are doing all of these things for most of us is hustle. Guy, if I do this thing, make I sure I get 1,000 views, 2,000 views. You know, that's the motivation behind so many of these. When they see that, okay, Yahoo is paying, or my like saying this in the pay, let's dive in. When they see that, it be like saying that Bitcoin they pay now, let's dive in. So people are now discovering that content producing is what. Because, okay, I was with, I think it was with AY. We were at a function. It was a private events.
Yeah.
And then everybody was on mask. We're observing the whole social distance thing. And then AY was like, still ringing. This thing, it did one kind of see guests, see us them far, see where we stand. How we want to give them punchline and say, I beg, let's do the one we can do. These people's money is very, very crucial at this point in time. That they will call us to come and perform at a live event in this period. Even if they are sitting 20 kilometers, as far as they can hear.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it. So we are all trying to, adapt to the sudden changes, because the whole corona, it hit everybody by surprise. It was when they reduced the corona pandemic, we can now move a little, that some of us went to rush and go and get cameras and do just to adapt.
Even some start doing indoor shows and like that.
Exactly. We've done programs for people. They say, you know what, we'll connect online, just crack your jokes, we'll be laughing from where we are, and then we'll transfer your money. I say, it works. As long as we can connect, it works. Who does not want to make money in this period? So in a nutshell, it has been challenging for those of us who were not originally video producers, content makers, and now we just switched. We are trying to adapt. Okay, how do we do it? What kind of information do you pass across? If we were to vet everything that is being released on social media, so many people's accounts will be banned. You understand? But I don't know if there are institutions or policies in place to checkmate those things. Well, we just know that there are certain things to say, certain information not to say, and then we are very careful. All we are trying to do is to make sure if we are passing a message that is serious, we know that, okay, this is what to tell society, this is not what to tell them. But basically, we just, let's not get too serious about Lagos, Nigeria. We promote all the safety measures. Let's just focus on our comedy, and so that you stay within your safety. Don't, if you want to say, please use your face mask, use your this, wash your hands, sanitize. It is fine. You are all promoting the same cause. But for a lot of guys that I know, the contents that I see, no. I will just tell them, guy, why did you say this kind of thing? But make the views just they gather up. It is well. So that's what we have been facing, in these times of switching from live performance to video content making and all of that. But we are managing fine.
That's great now. That's great. Still ringing. Keep the bell ringing, really. Professor Asibo, yes. In other climes, there is this popular saying that there is corona brought about some sort of creative destruction. Yes. Talking about if one door closes, another one opens. Julian said here that, of course, in the absence of this, you go to this and you keep moving. Life has to keep going.
Yes.
We have to really live and survive and then get the best out of it. In this environment, okay, with Corona still around and 2021 getting started now, how do you see this very industry thriving and taking advantage of other alternatives to, pushing across or pushing forward this industry to the next level? 2021 is right here, and people are still waiting for new things in this industry.
Well, two issues are immediately thrown up, even from listening to my young friends there. First of all, the government understands the importance of the creative industry, the revenue they contribute to our GDP. So to that extent, they're already doing something. In fact, there's a committee that Otumba Ronsowe is heading, and all of us have been asked to do a mapping of the impact on our various sectors. We've done that, so I'm sure government is collating to see how they can intervene to put more infrastructure in place so that it can mitigate some of the effects of corona. Number two is the need for regulation of the industry. Regulation will not only improve quality and content, but also keep away bad content. Because you see, because you can now stay in your room and do anything you like and just push it into the social media, the harmful effects of that cannot be quantified. So if we don't have regulation, I don't know how we'll end up. To that extent, I'm sure my Society of Nigeria Theatre Artists, which is the umbrella body for all theatre, film lecturers in Nigeria, we're already pushing a bill in that direction at the National Assembly. And we are hoping that with 2021, now 2021 holds a lot of hope that mankind will conquer this demon that is waging a war on our collective existence.
So, sorry, just before you go, what are the prayers of the bill that you're proposing?
Okay, the prayers is to, first of all, regulate the training, because it's from training. You see, right now the entertainment industry in Nigeria is peopled with moonlighters. Because you have some talents in maybe healing people, you don't go and start operating on people if you are not licensed to do that. Because you know how to make people laugh. In the US, you don't just come and start making people laugh. It is regulated. You may go and do some, crack some jokes to someone who has a heart condition, and they will collapse and die. So if the industry, the training is not regulated, you may not understand the power of social media. You see, in the US today, their media sold the idea of America as the policeman of the world. It is the media that sold that myth to us. So the media has that power. Even the Nigerian problem, where today we are talking of ethnicity, religion, corruption and all that, the media can combat that. But it is regulation that will help us understand the kind of content. Everything you put out must have some patriotic backing behind it. You don't, because you want to put across a news or make people laugh, you just put out anything.
Especially now that the distribution models have
been widened and it's unregulated. So if it's regulated, before it goes to the public domain, it passes through some form of filter, so that we know that what you are putting out there has a positive impact on the audience.
Now, how far have you gone with the bill now?
Well, the Senate had passed it. In fact, Senator Victor, when he was there, helped us with the bill. It had passed. Right now, it has gone through first reading in the House of Reps. So we are hoping that, God willing, God on our side, the bill will see the light of day.
Julian, one last word. What optimism will you express or share with us in this industry in 2021?
Good movies coming up, though we have a couple of them already, making waves. So good opportunity. And then if also governments, I know governments are doing their best to also contribute in the welfare of the industry, knowing fully well that the industry is the big part in employment sector of it. So we're looking for the best in 2021 for the entertainment industry, both the cooperative supports and what have you. But then Corona will not stop us. We'll keep doing our best to succeed.
We wish you all the best in 2021 and many more years to come.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on Good Morning Nigeria this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Ogunshino Ayodeji Samuel and Ojo Oladipupo Daniel talking about still ringing. It's a pleasure you've come along with us this morning, and we hope and pray that you keep the bell ringing.
Yes, before we let you go, just one quick one.
Please, in some few seconds, that is placed. In some few seconds.
Been able to ring for you people just yet. Yeah. And so before, this is a take-home thing for everyone watching us right now. That's it. Are you ready? Father, we thank you. Hallowed be thy name. Were you not the one that helped Moses to part the Red Sea? They did not chase him, they sold him. Because he cannot play, they pursue him. We are aware of it. In him was life that we might have abundant life. You see? For everyone watching us right now from their parlor, I want to launch shiny beer parlor. Bye. I did not say beer parlor. From their living room. Because you put parlor, not put beer. Anything parlor has to be. It will transform your life. It will be the pillar over your life. You will go in peace.
He's hearing what they say, really.
You see, in this pandemic, you must understand that there is a manipulation that has caused a deviation from God's original intention for us in this present dispensation. That is why we all need this reorientation that will provoke a radical reaction against every negative condition. Like this corona, until we can see the physical manifestation of our desired transformation in every ramification of our life and endeavor, even in this present practical dispensation. Tell them what I just said. I want to go there.
They've had to go and say they've had it. It is done. It is done. You want to make it money? It is done. It's okay like that now.
It is. Thank you very much. Still Ringing, we love you. The world's best preacher alongside the world's best Yoruba interpreter. Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so very much. You're still ringing. We'll leave you with that bell and keep ringing it for Nigerians. Professor Alex Osigbo, Society of Nigeria Theatre Artists, the president that is, we thank you so much for being part of us.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine.
Yeah. And a very big thank you to you out there for being part of this show this morning. We shall be back tomorrow with another package. Why not stay with us?
I am Claire Delapo Abdurrazak. Bye-bye.